Hey guys, Kenny here, and welcome back to my shed. So in this episode of Pattern Machines, I'm going to be doing some more on the penny farming. Last video I worked on the steering, got all that sorted out. See, originally this whole thing was proof of concept, very sort of weak and made of like MDF and stuff, just to make sure it's going to work. So I've been going through and strengthening stuff up, adding extra structure in. So that's all done. If you want to see that, jump back and have a look. But today we're going to look at the drivetrain here, just this bottom end, and then we'll do an engine on a future episode. So what I've got here is it's a chain, I guess it's going to start up here, isn't it? So pulley down to belt, and I'm going to have that flappy pulley clutchy thing, and if that's not working then we'll go to centrifugal, but that's going to go transfer to this pulley through the shaft to another little sprocket back there, and then to the big sprocket in the wheel. So I've worked out with all my calculations here, all the different ratios and wheel sizes and stuff. Max RPM 35 or 3600. We're looking at about 25 k's an hour, or what's that, about 15 mile an hour. So I think that should be enough, just that I can get the balance upright, hopefully, but not too fast that I'm going to lose control and I don't know about topple over. It'd probably be a bit more spectacular than that. But yeah, so we'll get into this episode and get onto this bottom end of stuff, get it strengthened up, extra brackets, all that sort of thing. That's how I roll. Now there's my pulley. Now because I don't have much room in here to play with, I want that as thick as possible just for strength. So got this idea. That's going to go there somewhere. Needs a couple of bits of plate. Hang on, I'll be back. Alright, been out rummaging. Got my supplies. So I've got a plate for each side of the pulley, and then that's going to be my shaft in the middle to go through there, and I'll probably just chuck a bolt through it or something just to lock it onto that axle. Alright, so I've got my pieces done. Well, sort of underway. I've got the tube there, one end plate, which is going to go onto this. We're going to have one end plate's going to be a small circle, the other end plate's going to be bigger, and it's going to bolt to there with the tube sticking out both sides. So I'll get that all tacked together, cut out, and we'll see how it's looking. Okay, so here's a little hub I've made up, just out of that pipe, a couple of bits of steel plate. Just drops into here somewhere. And then I'm just going to chuck a bolt through, probably bolt through each side of that tube is that. There's your jack shaft. Just hold this for a minute. Jack shaft through there. And then, yeah, all I need to do is chuck a bolt straight through the whole lot, I reckon. And got this sort of somewhat figured out. So I've got the hub mounted to the pulley, and I've got a couple of bearings there that'll bolt to the side of the rear forks part of the body, chassis thing, frame. So that'll transfer power from the motor through the belt to the sprocket, and then to the wheel. So the next thing I want to do is get the sprocket properly mounted to the hub. At the moment it's just bolted and it's not even centered or anything, so I'll get on to doing that. Then I'll get the placement of the rear wheel, make sure that's straight and square, and then that gives me an idea of where the jack shaft should go. I'm going to have a wee bit of adjustment in there, but one thing I do want is this side completely clean. I don't want anything poking through. So I'm going to weld a plate on the inside of this just to strengthen it up with a couple of studs off there that I can bolt the bearings to from the pulley. Yeah, so I want that completely clean all up through there. As much as this is like a machine made from bolt together stuff, I think the most important thing is how it looks. Secondary is how it functions, and practicality comes way down the list. So even to the extent of like when I think I'm going to put some sort of brake or whatever on here, they're going to be very minimal, like not going to be much to it whatsoever. Just want to keep that nice bold frame, that curvy frame there, and that's why I've sort of gone with quite light on all that structure there to hold the motor. So I'll get on to mounting that sprocket, and then I'll sort everything out from there. So I'm going to take the sprocket off and then turn that down, or make a bigger hole there, just so it slides over and I can bolt it straight into the original mounting place of the motorbike sprocket that was on there originally. So here's the sprocket, got that center hole bigger. That should fit on the hub now, and then just chuck a couple of bolts in and that's done. So there's a bit of process of getting this thing together. This pulley doesn't have a keyway in it, it's just got a bolt, so I've got to fit my hand up inside it to get it on. But first to fit is the wheel, so we can get it in there. And then I'll push the reinforcing steel temporary axle in place. Alright, got that in place. Next up, I'm going to put the axle in. So I've got it drilled for the grub screw for the sprocket, and then I've drilled it straight through to hold the other one, the pulley. I'll slide this in. Just far enough. And then put the pulley in, and it goes this way. Right, we're in. I'm going to put the retaining bolt in for the pulley to the drive shaft. If I can, one-handed. Nope. Don't really make things to be worked on, or to pull apart I should say. Oh, I can't get in there. 1 hour later. Nope. Yeah. Oh. Now I haven't aligned this sprocket yet. I might have to re-drill the hole for the grub screw. We'll see how close it is. I don't think it's too far off. There's not much room between the sprocket and the rim. That's it, we're on. Now, look how cool this looks. That was perfect placement from the sprocket. I think it's close enough, and that was just all by dumb luck. That's pretty cool. Alright, I'm going to run a rope belt up to the pulley. So I'm not going to go ahead and buy a proper belt for it. I'm just going to use a rope, and that'll get enough to see if it's actually going to work or not, and if it's worth buying a belt for and whatever length I need. Yeah. So how I'm going to do this, I'm going to go 3 times around here and give it a bit of slack, and then just tie up the ends. Should be enough friction in there. I think I'll twist them as well so they're all wound up together. I'll figure that out somehow. But yeah, enough slack on it that I can push on it just to give it a bit of a clutchy sort of try that out. So maybe about that, because it's going to tighten up. Should be enough. So go 3 of those. Oh, what a tedious process this is. I did it once and then remembered, oh, I've got to do it on the PennyFarming itself, because otherwise you can't get the belt on. Since I've already put all that together, this actually is looking pretty good. Maybe I'll leave this on for good. But yeah, it doesn't look too bad. might settle in and work alright for this, because it's only going to be low power transfer, and it kind of looks quite on style. Is that right? It's got the right style to it. I don't know how I'm going to finish the end of it though. I might we'll see. Maybe glue the two ends together or something. I'll run some tape around it. So I've now hooked up that rope, and it'll be alright for now, just to give it a test. You can see the axle's still loose, it's got a reinforcing steel through there, but it's actually looking pretty good. Everything's kind of working, not really moving too much, and it's stable enough. I have hooked up a little fuel tank, and the engine hasn't run for a couple of years. It had, what do you call it, gasket leak, head gasket leak, so I've sort of patched that up, and then we'll give that a spin and see if it spins that, and if all that mechanism is kind of working. So I'll give it a bit of choke, get some fuel through. Alright, got some fuel. Oh, well, the wheel's going around, that's a start. That was a success! Yeah! Oh, how cool is that? So we've got the steering sorted out. This is loosening up quite a bit, so we'll see how that all goes with the rope. I'll probably end up swapping that out for a V-belt. Then we've got like, so next episode, I think we need to stick this engine mount on a bit better, because that's just real thin. And then I'll run the exhaust up with a little tractor flap on the top. And I may look at getting all the controls in as well, the brakes and throttle. I don't know what we can do with that, and the wheel is spinning very fast. Well, that's it for now. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.